20. Kasha, Kasha's here. Yay, she's out in the field. Looking beautiful in the red coat. Easy to spot you there. We're going to talk with Chrissy about the commute in a second. Some people have actually been shoveling out the ramps today, Kasha, but you're out in the community. What are people telling you?
They're exhausted. That's true. They're exhausted from all the shoveling. People, plows, for instance, are saying stay away. Cars, stay away. Give them extra space. People that plow the sidewalks, on the other hand, they're saying park a little further away from the sidewalks to give them space. Just when we arrived in Vaughan, within a 1 kilometer stretch, we ran into, or I should say we witnessed 3 separate incidents, including one truck that was just stuck on its way up a hill. It couldn't make its way up a hill. And then a plow that literally did touch a vehicle, and that was stopping traffic. All this to say roads are just awful, predictably, right? So, of course, packing your patience is one thing you need to do as you're heading out today. But also I spoke to an instructor at Car Control School, and he says that people need to focus on where they're going, because all too often you're looking at, what's happening, looking at an incident or whatnot. So keep your eyes on where you're going. And now we're going to Chrissy with your traffic.
Thanks so much, Kasha. And it's funny you say that. Suzanne and I were literally discussing exactly that today. So
the roads. Kasha, you're out, you're appropriately dressed. Stopping room is really important when you're driving in conditions like this, because the roads are slippery with all that packed snow.
Oh, yeah. Packing your patience and just driving as safely as possible, driving slowly. And that's the number one point that our friends from Car Control School want to stress. Sorry, hair's going in my mouth because it is a little on the windy side. Our latest peak wind gust was about 40 and they're expected to, the winds are expected to gust into about 50 kilometers per hour around the GTA into the evening hours. But going back, on our way up here to Vaughan, we ran into so many problems that I mentioned a little bit earlier. And here's why, Suzanne. Really, the plows just can't get to it all. And all the snow, all the roads, it seems, are completely snow covered. I have here a ruler. It's hard to tell because it's been blowing and drifting. Woo! But it's definitely over 30 centimeters of snow here in this area. And again, it's been blowing and drifting, so it's not your best accurate, look at how much snow. But let's talk about your traffic. Chrissy.
Thanks so much, Kasha. Well, to say it's a mess out there is an understatement, although a bulk of the snow
tonight, Kasha, being the next snow. Doesn't look like that'll be a 30 centimeter snowfall, but you're out in the big drifts today.
What a big day it is today, Suzanne. And you were talking about the fact that Pearson saw a good 14 centimeters of snow or more. That was as of 2 p.m. But in total, that was actually our heaviest snow so far this year. And our record was set back in 2011. We had seen a little bit more than that. But what I want to take your attention to is the fact that we have already gotten 82 centimeters of snow this year. And do you know that the average is Suzanne knows this, the average is actually 74 centimeters of snow by this time. So we're not even that much above the average, but it just feels like we've had so much more snow. Now, obviously, the roads are just awful, and that's a big story for today. And I draw your attention to this road right here in this plaza. This is why, really, the plows, they just can't seem to keep up at this point with all the snow, and it's been falling at the rate of 1 to 3 centimeters per hour today. So obviously, still a lot of mess to clean up, so you just got to give yourself some extra time. And that's really the best advice we can give you. But with your traffic info, here's Chrissy.
Thanks so much, Kasha. Definitely packing your patience. The key.
Calm. Kasha, it's not unusual. It's Canada. It's February. It's not often that we get a snowfall warning for Toronto because there are so many people and so many thousands of kilometers of roads. It really has had a big impact today.
Yeah, it certainly has. And can you imagine back in the 60s, they had received at Pearson over 39 centimeters of snow in one day. That's the actual record. But I want to take your attention to my trusty ruler now. And it's really hard to choose an ideal location for measuring how much snow has fallen because, of course, it's been drifting around because of all the wind. But here it says 24, but a little bit further into, actually, heavy amounts, really. We've been seeing anything from 14 to 30 centimeters of snow as I've been measuring. But what I also wanted to mention is that I did speak to one of the instructors from car control school, and he mentioned that another tip when it comes to driving in these conditions is to drive in shoes and not boots, which is really interesting because it makes for a sloppier commute, really. And of course, speaking of your commute, I'm going to throw it back to you inside, Chrissy, with your traffic.
Thanks so much, Kasia. That's actually exactly what I did today, which didn't help me when I stood in a snowdrift getting out of my car, but neither here nor there.